Hi, my name is Justine. I'm a financial sales representative too.
Hi, I'm Stacy, Community Relations Officer.
My name is Shawnee. I'm a financial service representative, and I am Anudda Bajan.
And I'm Anudda Bajan.
And I am Anudda Bajan.
Hi, I'm Philip Bob, Manager of Centralized Services here at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And if you're Anudda Bajan, this is where you belong.
Hi, I'm Philip Edwards, and I'm Anudda Bajan. I had a very good childhood. I'm the youngest of three. I have two older sisters. Jacqueline, she lives in Trinidad, and Kay is here. And we lived at Paradise on the west coast, in Black Rock, not too far from the Mental. And basically, my childhood was very free. Yeah, I was quite a wicked child, naughty boy. Everything wrong that was to do, I more or less did. Got plenty of licks from my mum. Go visit your old aunt and the cat bug you or something, you throw it through the window. And upset the old auntie and all that. And go home, the old man would drag me up. Hey, I hear so-and-so. All around where I lived at Paradise, it was on top of the hill, but I had all great aunts all around. And the owner, Uncle B, Bert, old man, Burton Ward, he had owned the whole property and took my dad in to work with him when my dad was a youngster. So all around there was family, and we would do, oh geez, we go fishing, we smoke cigarette, we get a cigar from somebody, we go off, on her feet offshore, think we out in the middle of the ocean, light up the cigar. When you get back in, hey, come here, what are you doing out there? Things like that. We'd go down the woods and we would had gutterperts and we would shoot at the birds and things like that, the wood-elves, and pluck them and roast them and that sort of thing. And fishing, oh boy, like when jacks were in the bay, that was crazy. So all sorts of little naughty things, But it was good. We had a nice family home, and so in terms of, when I say the home, I don't mean the building, I mean the quality of life and the family. Unfortunately, I lost my mum when I was 9. And, well, I was still obviously very young. 9 years old, I was runt, and, the baby. And I can remember wonderful things about my mother. My mother loved children. All our family, all our cousins in school holidays, and so would come to our house. So there'd be like 12 or 14 people down there in the summer. And all the girls upstairs, all the boys downstairs, okay? And I'd wake up in the morning and go downstairs and, and look down her throat, things like that. And she was a fantastic cook. She, and especially with like pastries and hors d'oeuvres and things like that. And so a lot of that obviously stopped with all the family coming down and all that when she passed. Well, when she got sick, she had brain cancer, and she had surgeries in Canada. But that was in the infancy of the technology into dealing with things like that in those days. So I was somewhat sheltered from a lot of that. I would go spend time with my cousins and my grandmother and other families while this whole thing was going on, And I guess it's difficult to say. I mean, when she, like, I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral or nothing like that. Yeah? But I always thought that she was still around. And she was always there. I remember lying in my bed looking through the window and seeing the clouds and saying, you know, she's up there in the clouds type of thing. She isn't gone too far. But that's about it. And my father was a man of men. He was a big, tall man. My father never hit me in my life, not once. My lady used to burst my gallbladder, man, let me tell you. I mean, we had this big, tall Santa Claus that someone gave us. And he had a light in the back, and you plug him in, and he'd glow. So one day to clean out the battery and thing, and I go in there, and I find this cord, and with a plug on the end, and the two other ends bare wire, and I said, well, if Santa Claus can glow, I can glow too. So when they weren't doing something or another, Mommy and Blackie went off. I took a piece of wire, it was about 7 8 feet long, and we had a tall mirror in our front house, what I call front house, living room. It was a reasonably big house, and so I gone down there now, and I sneak it out, and I gone down, and I plug in the plug, man, and I stand in front of the mirror, and I hold the wire. Cheese, you wizard. When the current hit me, I didn't shine, it glowed. And I hauled off a blue murder, and Mummy and Blackie started, what's wrong? And it's come around me, I know his licks now. So I started to run, but I can't let go of the wire. But when he ran, the wire unplugged. So I ball it up and throw it over the wall, over the side of the patio, on the path outside. Mummy found it, walla, licks. My sister Kay, my elder sister Kay, and I. Jolly, the oldest Jolly, was Miss Goody Two Shoes. She never did anything wrong. She never, she was always prim and proper and whatever. Now Kay and I, different cat, two of us come out different. And as much as I love her, we used to fight like cat and dog. And I remember one time, she did something to me. I grab it, a carving knife, and I kill this girl. Boy, was she dead meat, let me tell you. And he'd run around, and she ran. The house had long sections like this, and a long patio right running full length of the house. So he'd run front patio into the living room, into the dining room, round the table, but she'd pull out the chairs, so it was like going over, like hurdles, right? Man, so she would always trick me. So, and the doors used to shut like this. So, we coming down back straight now, man, and she ran, and I gone round the corner. I said, well, I got her now. And she pulled in half the door, and I connect with the door. I still got the mark down here, okay? And I knife stuck in the door. How I didn't slice on my hand, I don't know. But let me tell you, that was licks. So, I mean, you know, and we have, the three of us, all love each other, and there's no animosity between any of us. And Daddy always used to say that he had three children. All three were the same. You know, equal. Everything was equal. Nobody got more than the other. And he always took good care of us. I must say that. And another thing about when Mommy died, Jalen was about 17. Yeah, 17 or 18. And she got married a few years later, but she used to like treat me a little bit like if she was mum, you know. Certain things she would take me to do, and like if you had to go and get school clothes and stuff like that, like what Mummy used to do when I was a kid. And so Dad raised us, and to me, my dad was my dad, sometimes my mum, my big brother, and it was my best friend. I know not many people can say that. Anyhow, back to my life, my sisters are quite a bit older than me, and so I'd done what would have been 11 plus in those days, and I passed for Lodge and Harrison College and Combermere, and we had family. My dad had a construction company, and my eldest sister was still around, but my elder sister, Kay, she went to live in England, and so I went to live in my family in St. Joseph because they had sons, my cousins that were at Lodge School, and it was a big home that my dad had done the construction for them, and so they told Dad, you know, well, why not let him come up here, give a bed, pay his food, and then I would go home on weekends at Paradise. So that's how my school days went, like that. But school holidays was a different thing. I was born on a beach, as I like to say. I can't remember learning to swim. I was always in the sea. Surfing, well, before I got surfing, it was fishing. I'd just go down early in the morning and take down one of the rowboats on the beach and go down the coast a little bit and look at all the reefs and all that. And then I would go diving, just free diving and then scuba diving. And as I got older, and water skiing, there was Willie's water sports at Paradise. So all my teenage years, all the school holidays, we worked with Willie, who was very kind to us. Myself and my cousin Brian Ward, who also lived at Paradise. So we were like two sides of a coin. Well, two sides of a strip of bacon. And I would have to say that I had a very good childhood, apart from losing my mum. And I have very fond memories of growing up. Paradise was a big place. A lot of people thought it was just the hotel, but it's a big site. It's 36 acres, all the land. So we used to go adventuring all through the woods, and we built a little tree seat here and a little tree house there and this sort of stuff. We got scraps from the construction around the area and do this sort of stuff. We did a lot of swimming and then got into surfing and so. And that was basically how I grew up. You know, everything to do with sailing. Willie had an old boat, old ketch called the Buccaneer. And we used to be sailing that with taking people out on cruises and things. Like how to have all the coastal cruises now. That was the only one in those days, you know? And so yeah, and then I finished school. I went through school. I had a good friend, Phil Rock. His aunt was married to my uncle. So for want of a better expression, he'd be my cousin-in-law. And we went to school together from St. Cyprian's, like 5, right through Lodge School. I went to a great institution, the Lodge School. And the better of the two schools in those days. That's just for the college guys out watching. And we left school together, and well, finish our O-levels and all that. And I remember the day I left school, I decided I'd done with that. And I went home in the evening, and Dad was in the Burby's chair, and I said to him, I said, well, that's it, old boy, done with that. And he says, you done with school? I said, yeah, enough of that now. I done my O-levels, and what is, I done with that. He says, this was a Thursday afternoon. He says, so we were starting to work Monday. I said, but geez, at least give me a couple of weeks, let me get a surfer or something, look around for some sort of a job. Anyhow, I managed to get a job. And I did start on Monday. And I was working at the airport as a ramp controller. And my same friend Phil Rock and my cousin Patrick and Peter Medford and a whole bunch of us that were good friends, and I all used to surf together and thing. So we went to the airport, and then when they had a fuel crisis, we another friend and I that went together. We were young, didn't have any no kids, no responsibilities, and they'd taken on 2 other fellas that had family. So when that fuel crisis, they said, well, guys, we can give you a job in cargo or whatever. And the other guy, Norman, he went back into air traffic control, and I worked in cargo for a short time. Meanwhile, all that was going on, Philip and I had applied to go to sea, and we had interviews and all of that there with Harrison Line. And 2 of our other schoolmates had gone just before us, like 6 months before us. And anyhow, eventually we were accepted. And so that was it. Went to sea, and it was absolutely amazing. I mean, it's something you really hard to conceive or perceive, yeah? And to me, as a little kid, I always read stories about Africa. And Africa I had this deep desire to go to Africa. And once we got up to England, we joined the ship here. And once we got up to England, guess what? We went into an induction course, and they came out and they put us on a ship to Africa. In those days, the Suez was closed, and we were serving East Africa. So I had to go around the Cape Town. We go into Cape Town, 23 days of sailing, and I hit the coast coming up Durban, Tanzania, Kenya, Yemen, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, and I go back down. So that was quite an experience. I've been on a safari in Kenya, been on Tabletop Mountain in Cape Town, and this was all at the age of 20, you know? And then, well, I would have to say I had a wonderful, I enjoyed sea to the max. It was, it was hard work. It was hard physical work. And how it was supposed to go was that it would do a year at sea, or get a year at sea time, and then 6 months at college, a year at sea, 6 months at college, blah. But while you're at sea, you also had to do a correspondence course. But of course, it never worked out to date, because sometimes, the first time I did like 10 months and I went to college, and then the next time I did like 14 months, I went to college, and so it varied. But they had to get an X amount of time over a certain period of years. And I would have to say the whole system in shipping changed from the old way of bulk cargo, which was like loose cargo, into containerization. So like, sometimes we go in a port, we'd be in a port 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes a week. So you get to go ashore, you get to see the places, you get to meet the people, you get to learn a bit of the local culture and the foods, all sorts of different things. You know, it was quite an experience. But then the last couple of years, it had changed to containerization and big fancy ships, fast, blah, 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 etc. But you get in a port 6 o'clock at evening and 1 o'clock in the morning is sailing. And you go on to the next port. And in that port, you get in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 9 o'clock at night, you're gone. They just put it off and pitch back on and move. It was a totally different work environment. And I wanted to go to sea to see the world, not to see the sea. Yeah? So when that environment changed, and I'd finished my last set at college, I came home on holiday, and my dad was having some health issues, and I'd got married. It was my last time at college to a Bajan girl, and we decided to stay, that I would stay home. When I lived with my family up in St. Joseph, just above Fisher Pond, Michelle and her family lived the other side of Fisher Pond. So we used to go down to Fisher Pond. Fisher Pond was a central area. They had a tennis court, used to play tennis on Wednesdays, and it was just like a social thing during the week. And evenings or even in school holidays, the Armstrongs lived there. And actually Randall Armstrong was one of the guys that was at sea just before me. We actually sailed together a few times. Anyhow, so we used to actually go to school in a pool in the same car. But I did like her. I thought she was a snot bag. And she thought I was a prude. So I'm 3 years older than her. Anyhow. But as we grew up then, this is like, 11, 12, whatever, she then went off to school in England. She did finish in school, and then she did nursing and all that. And one time she was home on holiday, and we did meet. We went out sailing, whatever it was, one day, with the family. And I was more friendly with her brother and sister and mother and so than at the time, because she was in England. And then I'd come home on leave. When I came home on leave, the last time I came home on leave, it was Old Year's night, Old Year's Day. And Daddy said that this girl, Michelle Parker, had called me and to give her a call. By call, I didn't get through. Anyhow, so I called her the next day, and they'd all gone to a family do up at the point, Concept Point. And so the next day I called her up and he said, so, how are you going? What are you doing? Would you like to go out tonight? He says, well, actually I have a date, but don't mind, you come. So I went, and after the party, whatever, I took her home. No whole hand, no kissing and nothing, right? I gave her a ride home, it was all talking and thing. And I went back to party. I still lived up at Selman's, all up in St. Thomas. Anyhow, so we then started to date, and for a short period, I was only home for about 2 weeks. And we just clicked. So I left when I got a call one day back to sea, because sometimes I used to come home for like 3 months. Yeah? And there's like, after being home 8 days, I get this call, you gotta join the ship in Trinidad tomorrow, or the after tomorrow, whatever. So we went to the airport, that didn't materialize, came back home, and I got a call 4 days later, 3 or 4 days, the ship is there now, you gotta go. So we left them, I went down to Trinidad, but I left a ticket, an open ticket. You get open tickets in those days. And when I flew down to Trinidad, and we went through Central America. couple of other islands, Railhen and so on. And then went back to Amsterdam. And when I got to Amsterdam, I called her, and because I was going back to college. And she came up about a month later, and I went down to London from Liverpool to pick up my check at the airport, and she turned up with her brother. And I said, wait, what's going on here? No, me and the brother are good friends anyhow, always were. So that's another story. Anyhow, so we went back to the hotel and decided that we would, that night, let's just get married and done with it. Easy so. So we made arrangements with the people that were her caretakers when she was doing nursing and finishing school. And he was a big up banker, so he had a lot of connections. And he arranged for us to get married the following Saturday in a registry office. So that was it. That was it. But here it is now, there's another little side story off of that. So we go downstairs now to the manager of the hotel, who all our family know. Every Bajan that went to London knows him. No matter what class, creed, or what color, or whatever, everybody knew Curly. So we go down to Curly and said, we would like to call home to propose for our proposal in marriage and get clearance from the parents. And he goes, sure, yeah. He said, we'll do time and charges. Do you know what time and charges is? Okay, in those days, you call the operator and you tell them you want to make a call to wherever, and when you're done, you want time and charges. So when you're finished the conversation, the operator would call you back and say, well, that call was 4 minutes, 25 seconds, and the charges are £3.25p. So you give the person the £3.25p or $4 or whatever it was for the convenience to pay their bill. So that was called time and charges. So I called zero for the operator, and I'm talking to the operator. All of a sudden I said, but wait, will you sound like you got Bajan roots? She said, yeah, man. She says, I'm a Bajan. I've been up here 15 years or whatever. I said, oh. I said, so what part of Barbados are you from? I said, Black Rock. I said, no, you kidding me, Black Rock? Why you from Black Rock too? You know, so and so and so and so. Ma, yeah, you know, Gabby, and you know, Bosun, and you know, who's the fellow who used to blow all the fish? Anyhow, it turns out that she lived right next door to other people that we knew down there, that we were close to. So I said, well, I called him home to ask my girlfriend's hand in marriage. She says, well, that's fantastic. She said, well, listen, I'll tell you what, see, I want all day. I here till 4 o'clock this evening. So when you're done, you can call just operator 47 or whatever it was, I forget your number now. Says, you can call, ask for operator 47. I will answer it, and I will connect you to whoever. You can call Sampucci and the Duppy. You hold how many ever calls you want to make, no charge. Bajans. When we got married, because the courtship was so short, we decided that we would not like to have any children for 4 years. And, you know, just to make sure that we spend time with each other, learn each other more, and make sure we got something that would last. Yeah? And when we were about to celebrate our 4th anniversary on the 25th of March, 1982, Emma was born the 1st of February, 1982. So it sort of worked to plan, and yeah, we were both excited, and you know, waiting to see how the child's gonna grow, and you know, it was challenging. My boss, my ultimate boss, we went to see him, he was, well, the Armstrongs, that family and my wife's family were very close. And we went to see him one night. He says, come down, have a chat. So we went down there and we had a couple of drinks, and he said, no, he says, listen, we all plan to do about family. So he said, well, wait until we can amass a little bit of money and see what we can do. He says, listen, don't wait. Don't wait. You have the child and the money will come. And that's basically, okay, he was wondering how come we're taking so long to have a child. He was wondering if there was something wrong, Anyhow, and that's how it happened. That's it, basically. And then Holly was born 2.5 years later, after Emma. 32 children. Yeah. So it was good in life. When I lived at Huddersfield, there were happy years. Happy years. All my life. I really can't say that I was ever unhappy. We're going to be 47 years married next March. So we're blessed. We're not rich by any stretch of imagination, financially, but we're rich in blessings and the things that we do. And Michelle and I share a lot. We're both Christians, and we are senior elders in a small community church in St. John, up at Clifton Hall. And yeah, God is good. I'm Phil Edwards, and I'm a Christian. I'm a family man. I love life, and I'm just another Bajan.